What's up, Fantasy A-Team Nation? I'm your host, Josh Jenkins, and today's video, we are going to reveal our top quarterback matchups for Week 12. But before I start the show, I'd like to welcome my good friend and co-host, Zach Roberts, back to the show. Welcome back, Zach.
Hey, thanks for having me, Josh. What's up, A-Team Fantasy Nation? How we doing? Hopefully the waiver wire video helped y'all, and we're going to pump out these top quarterback matchups for you, Week 12.
Let's roll.
All right, so like we usually do on our top matchups, right off the top, we want to take Mahomes, Brady, Rodgers, Jackson, Allen, and Stafford. Even though Allen played yesterday, we're sorry about not getting the video up sooner, but all those guys every week, man, if you got those guys, you want to start them no matter what. I mean, as long as they're not hurt and on the bye week. I mean, even Kyler Murray would be up here, but he's on the bye week. So those guys you want to start every week. Going forward after that, though, in no particular order, but I really like Kirk Cousins this week. And in the last few weeks, he's really had great games. So with that said, he's going against San Francisco, the 23rd ranked defense versus the quarterback. I love this matchup. He was 24 of 35 for 341 yards and 3 touchdowns last week. This Minnesota offense is on fire the last 2 weeks. So I look for another great outing and 300-plus yards and 2+ touchdowns this week. Him and that Jefferson kid have a special match or a special hookup like Stafford and Cup this year. So,
yeah, that matchup they had last week with Green Bay, they just outdueled them. This week, it's going to be hard to stop Jefferson, Thielen, Conklin, if you're able to stop one of those guys. And then you got to worry about Dalvin Cook out of the backfield. So, yeah, I look for another big week.
I agree. All right, so the next guy I got on here that I think is going to have a big week this week is Jalen Hurts versus the New York Giants. They're ranked 18th versus the quarterback, so that's like a little past middle of the road. And he's not your average quarterback; he's a dual threat, so it's kind of hard. Pick your poison. Where he's gonna get you. You think you stop him passing, he's gonna run all over you, or vice versa. So he only had 13 of 24 for 147 yards and no TDs passing last week, but he was 18 carries for 69 yards and 3 touchdowns. So between the two, he's going to get close to 100 or 65 to 100 yards rushing and probably throw anywhere from 150 to 250 yards this week. I know it's a big window, but I mean, with the dual threat, it's hard to predict, but he's going to put up big fantasy numbers again this week, I bet you. And I think the Giants will have a better offensive outing this week since Jason Garrett's gone, and they're going to have a revitalization of the offense and probably start utilizing a lot of their assets like Barkley and Ingram and Shepard. Actually, I think Shepard's out this week, but Kenny Golladay, he needs to step up. He's got a big contract. So I think all these guys are going to start getting utilized more. So we'll see what happens moving forward. And I just think that he's going to get Jalen Hurts is going to get a few extra reps possibly while they're trying to figure out their offense. But I do believe the Giants play better this week.
Yeah, it can't get no worse, I don't think, from New York Giants fans. Hopefully with the firing of Jason Garrett, the next man up, we'll instill some new offense into that team and, sort of make it a competitive game. That's what us fans want to see, is a competitive game, not a blowout all the time. But
right. We've got some weapons there, so they ought to use them.
Yeah, that being said, I think Miles Sanders is back. And, of course, you got Smith on the outside. Yeah, I look for about the same numbers as last week out of Hurts.
Yeah. It may be in a different form, like instead of 147 yards, he might throw for close to 200 and only rush for 50 or whatever. But I believe somewhere between the two, he'll get the 2 or 3 touchdowns between the rushing and running, and he'll probably throw for anywhere from 150 to 250 yards and could possibly rush for anywhere from 60 to 100 yards. So he's a real special guy. I think they're hoping that Justin Fields could be a lot like Jalen Hurts. All right, so next, though, I got Cam Newton coming off of a pretty good week last week. We predicted it as well, and he's got a great matchup versus Miami, the 28th ranked defense. So we love this matchup. Last week, he was 21 to 27 for 189 yards, 2 TDs, 10 rushes for 46 yards and a TD. He had a great game in the loss last week. I look for more of the same this week, probably more passing yards, like 200 plus, and 2 TDs, maybe 50 rushing plus yards and a TD. So I think he's gonna have a big game.
Yeah, I look for Newton to get his first win this weekend. I think he'll put up similar numbers, probably more passing yards. And then, of course, it'll be a big game from McCaffrey out of the backfield. And, I look for DJ Moore to be the big guy this week receiving.
I agree, man. All those assessments are right on. I'm 100% with you, man. I really think Cam he's revitalized coming back to this team. I think they're so welcoming having him back, and he's playing well. So with that, the defense doesn't have much film to go on still. So I think he still could have a big week. All right, so next I got Mac Jones. I threw a guy in off the waiver wire that I actually think, I know we always go with he's solid and even keel. But I believe this week, man, with this matchup, if anybody's going to exploit Tennessee with a solid quarterback, because Mac Jones is almost like, so far, he's kind of playing a lot like what Tom Brady played like in the beginning, kind of not extravagant, but steady and even, someone he can trust. Now that we're halfway through the season, he's shown that he's got the trust there. He's got a great matchup. And isn't Vrabel the coach at Tennessee? So it's another Belichick tree matchup head-to-head. And I don't think Vrabel – I know Vrabel's beat him in the past, but I think right now Vrabel's kind of hobbled like a guy with a bad high ankle sprain right now, because not having your big guy Henry, dude, to dictate the pace of the whole game, it's really going to take away what they like to do there. So look for Belichick to exploit that and Mac Jones to have a big game. He was only 22 of 26 last week, 207 yards and a pick, but I still think he's going to go for 250 plus and 2 touchdowns. And I think he could blow up a little bit this week. So that's why I have him on here, and he's available if you needed somebody this week.
Yeah, I look for Mac to have a good game as well. I don't know what Tennessee's going to do. I mean, they're out, A.J. Brown's out. Julio Jones is out. I know their leading rusher, Nichols,
got banged up. Yeah, he was
out.
banged up. I know. So they're –
only thing I can say is next man up.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying that Tennessee couldn't come out and just have a great game, but I really think that's how I think it's going to – I mean, Belichick, dude, he knows all the things that we know and so much, much, much more stuff. He's forgotten stuff that we'll never know. So, dude, I'm telling you, he's going to exploit that game this week. You watch. And, dude, look at them. They're rolling, dude. What are they, on a 5-6 game winning streak or something? They're really playing well. So last but not least, I got on here because I really like the guy. He struggled a little bit, but I think he has a bounce back game this week because he had a bad game last week. He's kind of been bad game, good game, bad game, good game. So with that said, I'm going to go with Joe Burrow versus Pittsburgh, 16th ranked defense versus the quarterback. I really like Burrow, so I love this matchup. I believe he has a bounce back game and throws for over 250 yards and 2+ TDs. He's got the security of Joe Mixon now running the ball. So with that coming, man, and he's got great offensive weapons. That Jamar Chase is so special. T. Higgins, what's that tight end they got? Uzumwa. I mean, He's super athletic. So with all those weapons, man, I believe they get it together and they have a big game. I mean, he has a big game this week. Matter of fact, I think Mixon and Jamar Chase will have big games this week too. So. All right, man, that concludes the quarterback video. Unless, wait, you go ahead. You got something to say, I'm sure.
Yeah, I actually think this will be a good game. I think it's going to be a close game. All the weapons that Big Ben's got there, Harris out of the backfield, and, of course, you got Mixon out of the backfield for Joe Burrow and then Jamar Chase. So I have a feeling this is going to be a good game.
I agree.
And, folks, that's it. That concludes week 12 top quarterback matchups. If you enjoyed this video, give us a like, hit that subscribe button. If you have a comment, drop it down below. And remember, friends, don't let friends auto draft.